Shattenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only, new 2019 Ford F-150 Crew Cabs up to $14,000 off MSRP or up to $8,500 off MSRP and 0% for 72 months. All new F-150 trucks come with no charge Ford roll-up tonneau cover. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Shattenkirk Ford Indianola. ShattenkirkFord.com.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's time for Valley High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is the state's premier source for high school sports streaming.
Go to the fullback, Wilcoxon. Big hole! He breaks to the open!
Valley football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Shattenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, Central Bank, and Mid-American Energy. Now let's go to our CISN.TV crew for Valley High School football. Good evening and welcome to Valley Stadium. Here in the press box, Dar Danielson along with Keith Bornas as we get ready for Week 9. Can it be Week 9 already, Keith?
I am as surprised as anybody else. It has really flown by, and good football all the way through.
For the most part, good football all the way
Any
through.
Friday night game
you're right.
is good football.
Any game is good football. But, in the past few weeks, we've seen a lot of high scores and running clock, and there's been a lot of talk about how to remedy that. And we're going to do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll talk a bit about that and the pregame after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium. Dar Danielson along with Keith Bornas is the Valley band playing the school fight song. And Week 9, Keith, and there's a lot of teams still fighting it out to get that district title, see who's going to get that automatic playoff bid. For the Tigers, though, they're pretty well set right now. At 8-0, they can go to 9-0 with the win tonight, but they have the tiebreakers and everything, and that's always a good position to be in when you get this game, isn't it?
It's a great position to be in, but at this point in the season, of the 7 districts, I believe there are 5 of them that are already set as far as the district champion, and now it's just who's going to come in addition to the additional 2 district champions, and then who's going to fill in the rest of the other 9 positions when it comes to the playoff itself. So, Valley's in a very good spot. Not having to worry about it, not having to stay up late to see, hey, did I make it in? It's going to be more of a, do I want to stay up late to see who we're going to play?
Right. Then how do you keep focused, too, on that when you have the playoff spot locked up and you're going to come out tonight, let's face it, a team that's 0-8, you're 8-0. How do you keep focused on what you have to do? Because you're not only preparing for this game, but you're preparing, as you say, for the playoffs to move ahead.
Tonight's game is kind of a situation where you really want to try and finite your plays. Everything that you have practiced up to this point, you want to run as perfectly as you can. So if you can focus in on running a perfect play, that's what you want to do, not just 1 play, 2 plays, but try to string along everything and go as long as you can throughout the night, because when you get into the playoffs, you're going to have to make as many perfect plays as you can to continue playing in the playoffs. And so it's not about the victory as much as it is the performance of how are we going to play each down, and can we win all phases of the game. So Valley has been very good defensively all year. Offensively, they've started to come on as of late. Special teams has kind of been a question mark as far as being able to flip the field. And so there are going to be several little things that Valley can work on tonight and have been working on the last couple of weeks as far as just fine-tuning everything before you start your official playoff practice next week.
Yeah, because now's not the time, we could take it easy tonight and not pick up that block like we're supposed to, or move to this position when we're supposed to, because if you lapse back into that and you do it next week, the season could be over.
Absolutely. It really is a situation where you just want to get a roll going and keep it going. And so tonight would be an excellent opportunity to, some of the starters might be in a situation, we're trying pad stats tonight. I do remember several years ago, I'm going to throw a name out, Jason Scales. We got into a couple of games his senior year where, all right, what does Valley need to do to get themselves rolling into the playoffs? And it was a situation, in that particular year, Jason Scales, it was, I think if I can touch the ball and our guys can block, we will try to score every time. Every play is designed to go for a touchdown, otherwise you wouldn't have designed that play. So we're going to try and get every time we touch the ball, we score. And in one of those last games of the year, he touched the ball 6 times and scored 4 touchdowns. So that was a pretty good goal going into it. Not that that's what Valley is working on right now. It is one step at a time, going as quickly as you can, going as strong as you can, as long as you can.
And senior night tonight, and I know I was this way, everybody's this way. You think, senior year when you start out, that's years down the road. But especially in football, football's got the smallest amount of games usually that you get to play in a season. And, if you get lucky and you get the playoffs, you extend that a little bit. But still, you may be talking at the most 10, 12, if you're real lucky, 13 games. So these seniors are, there's probably a little bit of that too, thinking, man, mom and dad were here tonight in the senior night, and I've got maybe 8 quarters at minimum left in my high school football career, and that all kind of weighs on you. You want to go out there and you want to make the most of it, don't you?
Right, and the other thing that kind of boils into the scenario here is your own personal pride, because the seniors that Valley have, they're great people, great families. They're involved in more than just football. But their quest didn't start in August. Their quest started after the last loss last season. And so we're now coming up on almost 12 months since they started their quest on this. They have been in the weight room. Coach Swenson was talking about, to our freshmen just tonight, talking about all of the different opportunities these guys had in the offseason to get ready for the season. There were over 200 opportunities to do something, and several of these seniors made all of them. And so their commitment to it. And so now when we get into the personal pride of things, how do you manage that? How do you carry that? Because you're looking at all of the effort you put into it, all of the want that you have had the entire year building to this point, getting back to the playoffs. And you take a little bit of a sigh of relief. All right, we're here. We're here where we left off a year ago. Now there's something we want to finish. Can you manage that with all of the hype and now understanding, holy smokes, it's here now.
Yeah.
So yes, a long time brewing, but now that it's here, what's going to happen with it?
Okay, we're getting ready for Valley. 8-0 taking on Des Moines North. They came in at 0-8 here tonight, and a chance for Valley to lock up undefeated regular season and undefeated district season. We'll come back with more of the pregame and the kickoff coming up after this on CISN.TV.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Here at Valley Stadium, getting ready for the kickoff tonight. Dar Danielson, Keith Bornas, and let's talk just quickly about our keys to the game here tonight. Number one is focus. Block out all the senior night stuff. Block out all the potential playoff game up ahead. Focus on what you have to do. Keith talked a lot about that. Execution. Go out and execute like you've been doing, you've been working on, you've been practicing on all season. And then, as always, when you come out and you face a team that's maybe got a little less, record than you, no turnovers. You don't want to turn the ball over, give them any easy chances. You want to be strong with the ball, smart with the ball here tonight. So those are our keys to the game, to tonight's ball game with Valley and Des Moines North. And one of the issues we see with a lot of these teams, Keith, is depth, and we're going to see that tonight with North. A lot of players going both ways, and that's probably one of the biggest issues. Not necessarily they don't have the athletes, they just don't have as many of them and the depth that some of the other bigger schools have.
Absolutely. You take a look at what North does bring to the table tonight. Nathan Miller, senior, he is leading the state with tackles. He's got 75.5 tackles. The next closest on a team is Devin Hilson with 25.5. So he has carried the brunt of the defensive output. And Muhammad Bass, Jr., he's third in Class 4A with 4 interceptions. So they bring to the table some really good athletes that they'd be starters anywhere.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the depth, we were talking about this a little bit in the pregame. There's 22 total positions when you add your offense and defense together. 14 of those positions are filled by 7 guys. So that is a lot to carry for a high school athlete. And people will talk to you. My grandpa would talk to you. My parents will talk to you. Iron Man, football, and we did it all. But when you're talking about the speed of the game, it is tough to manage that as a high school athlete.
Well, I did, but I played at a small school, and the other team was doing the same thing. Everybody was playing both ways.
Sure.
You played offense, defense, and it wasn't, so, yeah, you can talk about that, and it used to be that way, but now as the schools have gotten bigger, the athletes have gotten bigger. Even I've seen some of the smaller schools, they try to, when they can, rotate in guys in and out, especially on the offensive and defensive line, because that's where, those big, heavy guys wear down. And I think some of the schools in the smaller classes that are more successful have found ways to get more of their kids out and rotate them in and out of the lineup a little bit more.
And, some people will take that scenario of the third phase of the game, special teams. Well, let's get our guys in on special teams. When it's a third of the game, you have to have your good athletes, your good solid depth there as well.
Yeah.
Because 7 points is 7 points regardless of where it comes from.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. It used to be you could sneak a couple freshmen here or there in, but when you have to play those guys and we'll see seniors coming out here for Valley, and they'll be the dark tops and North and the white. We get kind of a negative effect here.
That's right.
A little bit back and forth with the two uniforms.
But here's an example right now of looking at the depth. Valley has, I believe, 38 seniors, and North has 43 guys on the roster.
Yeah. So
our senior class is almost as depth oriented as North is, even before the game gets going.
So.
See what the flip is here,
yeah,
Dar.
We'll see what the look at the weather conditions. Looks like it's fairly calm out there right now with the breeze. Not too bad.
And
cool
there
night.
Isn't anybody in the stands that is complaining about no wind, because it's cold enough that if there was any type of a breeze, it would make tonight kind of miserable.
Yeah.
But now, it's just a good, almost November evening for football.
Yep. And we're just about ready to get it underway here with Valley and North. A couple of the matchups that are interesting, Johnston and Waukee playing in Johnston tonight.
Whew.
And that should be a good Johnston. Waukee started out, I won't say slow. I mean, they played Dowling to 4 and what was Valley to – well, Valley was probably the worst game of their start there, but Valley and Southeast Polk, they, close games there. So, but then they've come on, and Johnston – a little slow start, but Johnston has one loss of the district. Waukee with a win gets the automatic bid there. I think with a loss, they may still have the RPI depending on how that works out. But we're getting ready. Looks like North will kick it off here to Valley.
Well, the officials kind of taking their time getting things going here, Dar. Yeah. Not that I'm trying to get the season over with.
No.
But we've been waiting to this point for quite some time.
And we're set to kick it off. Taken at the 10-yard line up to the 20, 25, 30, 35, and rolling up ahead.
Matthew Mahoney on the return there. Yep. And it is great to see Matthew Mahoney back into the lineup. As far, Valley has 3 really good wide receivers. They have a very good receiving fullback coming out of the backfield, who he is also back tonight. People have been talking about how to remedy playing 0-8 at the end of the season going into the playoffs, but sometimes it's not a bad thing if you have some injuries that you got to get mended as you go into the postseason play.
Yep. 1st and 10 at the 38 for Valley. Catcher hands it off, looking for room, cuts it up across the 40, 45, 50. Back over, Mitchell slips a tackle, still going, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
I would have to say that Creighton Mitchell, about the 35-yard line, was getting caught up. They got around his ankles. He spun out of it, kind of doing a very nice, I call it a figure skating move, being able to stay on his skates there. But what sprung that was great blocking downfield by one of those wide receivers that we were talking about at the beginning.
And we're set for the extra point attempt here.
Neutral zone violation on the defense.
So we're set for the extra point here. And it's good. And one play, 7-0 Valley up. We'll take a break and be back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only new.
Darius Washington is back deep to receive for North.
Darius Washington, now we're actually going to see him in 3 of the 3 phases of the football game, playing offense, defense, and special teams.
And also back there, Micaiah Duncan, too. And Washington takes it up to the 15, and he stopped immediately there.
I was watching Darius Washington on film. He's a pretty dangerous return guy. He's got good speed. And so Valley, knowing that they had to get down there and do some great things on kickoff coverage to keep the ball inside the 20.
So Nick Crisp, the freshman quarterback, will bring him out for North. And he'll send a receiver to each side. Washington out down here to to the bottom of your screen, wide to the right, and handoff up the middle.
North coming out in the kind of a doubles set, but it's a double wing with 2 wide receivers. They'll also run a 2 tight end set with the double wing, and they're going to try and do a lot of shifting to see if they can move Valley's defense around.
No gain. They're 2nd and 10 for the Polar Bears. Crispin under center with the back behind him. Send that wing back in motion. Pitch it back to him. He'll cut it up to the 20, up to the 21-yard line. Goes down to the trial.
Nice gutsy play there by Crispin. You know, you come into the game as a freshman, that's tough enough, but when you weigh 125 pounds,
you're running that option and going to get hit a lot, yeah.
Your linebackers are going to be, well, not 125 pounds, so. And they're still running just as fast or faster than you.
So they'll come out. 3rd down and 4. It's in a man in motion and handed up, but he's hammered in there right away. Looked like Stillman was one of them in there. And Granquist.
Stillman in on the outside single, and he was able to drop him down for a 2-point takedown.
And a loss on the play, 4th and 4, or maybe no gain.
I did not see the headlinesman move at all. So, in fact, he's still in the same stance he was 2 plays ago.
There's the snap. The kick is away under pressure. It's going to bounce and bounces back, now back, and it'll end up at the 43 where Valley will take over. 1st and 10 in the 43 on their 2nd possession.
With Valley coming back in on offense here, you know, Creighton Mitchell did his job on the first play. Got his big score. I can't remember how far it was.
62.
62 yards. And so last week against Ames, Valley had 3 running backs at right at 100 yards or better against Ames. And I think this is going to be one of those nights where you want to get your backs as many carries as you can safely. You don't want to risk injury tonight. Jaden Williams into the backfield on series number 2 or play number 2 for Valley.
And he takes the handoff, scoots ahead, looks for some room, and finds it in the middle of the pile there. Gets a pretty good pickup, about 5 on 1st down. Darius Washington in on the tackle. 2nd and 5 at the 38. As catcher checks to the sideline for the play. And he'll pitch back. He hesitated there for a minute, but then able to get through traffic up to the 20, 15, 10, needs a block, cuts it inside. Williams, touchdown.
So we talked about finishing plays as one of the keys to the game tonight. And Valley's offensive line making blocks all the way down the field. The linemen are running and pushing players back, setting up a lane for the running backs to run through. Matthew Mahoney out on a block, taking his guy the opposite direction, 20 yards. So everybody's kind of hitting on all cylinders right now, and this is one of the things.
Catcher looked a little bit like when he came out, like he debated like he was going to run it for a minute there, didn't he?
Well, I wasn't 100% sure if he should have reversed out on that, and he just turned and said, whoa, I'm a little bit ahead of the play.
I think he didn't spin around. He waited and caught up as the extra point is good, and that makes it 14-0 here over Des Moines North. We'll take a break, come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only new 2019 Ford F-150 crew cabs up to $14,000 off MSRP or up to $8,500 off MSRP and 0% for 72 months. All new F-150 trucks come with no charge Ford roll-up tonneau cover. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Here at Valley, ready for the kickoff once again. Tigers have scored on 2 possessions, a 1-play and then a 2-play drive. And here's the kick. Coming deep, taken by Washington, looking to get it out to the left side, looking for a block, and then there's a flag down, so that'll come back.
Yeah, that block in the back. This is going to be half the distance to the goal.
And
called a hold.
A hold. Either way, it's
half the distance.
Going to put you half the distance back, and not how North would like to start it there.
So, Darius Washington, we brought his name up a few times for North already. Playing defense, playing offense, playing special teams. He's got 20 tackles on the year. And on the receiving side of things, he's leading the team with 293 yards and 3 touchdowns, 17.2 per reception. Kind of a weapon.
Yep. Makia Duncan out to the left and Washington to the right. They send in motion, the man, and then fumble. The ball comes out of there, but I think he was down. Yep, they're pointing down as they hand it off up the middle to Bass. And his knee was down. He got about, just about 3 there. Long 2.
Yeah.
Short 3, however you want to look at it.
All I know is it's tough sledding in there right now. Some very uneven ground as far as North is concerned.
Crispin under center, drops back, keeps it, now turns it up and just gets plowed over.
I wonder if that's what like running with the bulls is kind of like in Spain.
Oh, it seemed kind of like when you're standing there on the beach and that big wave comes over. You know? Because he looked like he had a hole, and then all of a sudden just a wave of black shirts all over him. 3rd and 8 at the 9-yard line for North. And hand off to Muhammad Bass, and he will get a yard to the 10, but it'll bring up another 4th down.
Now, one thing that North is doing, they're keeping the clock moving.
Yeah.
And if the clock is moving, when no action is going on, your other team isn't scoring.
That's true. And the snap gets through, and he'll be tackled for a safety in the end zone. Kevon Beckham. Tackled in the end zone for a safety.
So as of right now, the fine-tuning, the finishing of plays, right now Valley kind of has the golden touch. And as far as North, they are chipping away at everything they can, but things are not going their way just yet.
Well, if you want to look on the bright side, they only give up 2 points, and now maybe a chance to kick it on the other side.
Yeah, flipping the field.
Flip the field a little bit here for North.
But Matthew Mahoney and Creighton Mitchell are back deep for Valley.
And 2 dangerous guys on return.
Yeah.
kick it from the tee. It's a pretty good kick taken by Mahoney. He looks for room outside, tries to turn the corner, gets around across the 50, dives ahead. There's a flag down on the far side. So there may be some type of penalty on the Tigers. We'll see.
It's never a good sign when the flag is coming from that direction as far as Coach Swenson is going to be concerned here. You want to have as clean and crisp a game as you can.
So that'll move it back. It will be, Tigers will start on their own side of the 50.
Valley takes over first and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Jalen Crowell checks
Jalen
into the
Crowell.
backfield now.
I was looking down at my sheet. There's a handoff. Crowell, and he drags the tackler up to about the 48-yard line.
If the pattern continues, there should be one more play and then a touchdown on that one for
Rolling
a 1,
out.
2, 3.
Catcher throws it out into the flat. Got a blocker up ahead of him, cuts back inside, and then is pulled down is Jack Yenser.
Valley putting a little tempo into the game now.
Speeding it up just a little bit. Darius Washington on the tackle. First and 10 at the 25. And looking for, got it up just past the first down marker.
Nice job by Johnson as he fought for extra yards and hung on to the ball. One of the toughest things to do as a wide receiver, as a running back, is when you're fighting for extra yards on your own, it's hard to hang on to the football.
Yeah. Hand off, up, and into the end zone.
Nice job by the senior running back getting another touchdown.
14-yard run.
That makes Creighton Mitchell now has 12 touchdowns on the season. Jaden Williams now has 8 on the season, and Mr. Crowell just got number 6. So spreading the wealth.
And the PAT is good. 23-0 here with 5:28 to play in the first quarter. Take a break, come back with a kickoff after this.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We are back ready for the kickoff as Valley has scored now on each offensive possession. Washington and Micaiah Duncan back to receive the kickoff. And taken by the short man who went back. And he does a pretty good job of getting the return there is Kevin Bickham. Kevon Bickham.
Best starting position of the game tonight for North.
Yep, out at the 26. And Nick Crispin will come back out. David Day, Terrence Shakir, Orlando Fuentes, and Keegan Derer Keegan DeVore, can't read my own handwriting, on the offensive line for North. Quick pass out, and now we'll cut it back in. Tell you what, Kevon Bickham's got a little bit of speed once he gets the ball, doesn't he?
A little bit. He was able to maneuver back in. I thought he was going to be tackled right when he caught the ball.
Yeah, but he moved back inside. He saw the outside was bottled up there.
And he wasn't getting any help from the Valley sideline.
No. Second and 8 at the 29. Dropping back. Cross. Oh, he's looking for Washington, but threw it behind him.
If there is somebody that would like that pass back, it's Cale Sampson. He was right there as a linebacker for Valley, and it was right off the fingertips. He was looking for possibly an interception, but he couldn't reach it.
What kind of looking is that obviously aggressive now Valley defense trying to slant it quick in behind them and a little better pass, and they got a first down there. But
and maybe more.
Yeah. 3rd and 8. Dropping back, looking, throwing across the middle this time. Got a man, breaks free. 40, 35, 30. Down inside to the 27-yard line is Kevon Bickham.
Again, you were talking about good speed by the receiver there, but that pass, I don't know if I've seen very many freshman quarterbacks in a freshman game throw that well, let alone.
Yeah. Right there on the hands, caught him in stride.
Yeah, going against one of the top defenses in the state and threading the needle there. He had some mustard on it.
First down for North here tonight, and they got a little bit of a drive going. Hand off, but don't pitch out, and everybody stays home. They'll get a few yards, but good pursuit, and there's a late flag that comes into the pile there. And let's see what that is. Face mask, a 5-yarder against Valley, so that'll bring up 2nd and short here for North.
North on the move.
This will be 2nd and 2 at the 20.
You have to be impressed with.
It should be 2nd down, right?
Yes, it is.
Because they still got the one over there on the.
You have to be impressed with Crispin, the freshman coming in, taking charge, guys respecting him, obviously. Now leading the team down the field.
Now there's a handoff right up the gut. And that's what happens. You get hit a pass, get a run that loosens up that defense a little bit. They can't just rush with their ears pinned back, can they?
No, not so much. You know, Valley was able to have 7 guys in the box and keep things real tight as far as finding the ball in the misdirection of North's offense there. But now, if Crispin's starting to hit the receivers, they are backing off.
Washington to the right, Duncan to the left. Rolls right, throws it to Washington, and then just kind of overthrew him a little bit. And he looked back late and stopped running. I don't know. He broke off the pattern. I think he had a defender behind him, but.
Yeah, everybody was where they should have been except the receiver. The receiver got held up a little bit there in traffic. Kadar Lewis, and real good coverage there for the Tigers.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 17. One thing we've seen this year is a Valley defense stiffen up inside the 20, and they've been very stingy with giving up points. Pitch back. Looking in, just ripped down. The pursuit got there.
Great job by Clayton Adamson coming up from that safety position. And the ball carrier went down quick.
Yeah.
So, talking about going back to the keys of the game and staying focused, another key to the game, don't look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Don't sit back and relax and say, oh, jeepers, we're scoring on every offensive series.
Talked about it. Focus and stay, So big third down now, 3rd and 13 for North. Crispin under center. Drops back, looks, tried to throw it out there.
Intercepted.
And it's picked off. Going back the other way. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. Who is that? I can't see the number.
Blake Underwood, the linebacker. Okay, Dar. When Valley ended up with the ball there and we were watching the return man go down the field, I was thinking, man, he's got pretty good speed.
Yeah.
That was a linebacker, Dar.
Yeah.
Blake Underwood is not supposed to run as well as he did. Now, of course, Coach Trigstead will tell you, well, Blake Underwood can run a little bit.
Yeah, and when you have the ball in your hands and you're thinking touchdown and you see green, you're running as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And did they?
I think North was offsides just a little bit there.
Before the kick, so.
And instead of accepting the penalty and moving things around, Coach Swenson declined it, kept everybody set.
And the kick is up and good. Makes it 29-0 here. 2:12 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be back after this.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
And we're back for the Valley kickoff. 30-0 Valley. And this kick is going to be taken at the 2. Looking for room, stops, sheds a tackler, but then gets snowed under. And I was about to say that was a first defensive score, but you got to count the safety as a defensive score. First defensive touchdown tonight for the Tigers. On, I think it was about a 79-yard return there, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15 for North, who took it and drove down, had it down to what, the 13.
Yeah.
And then
big play by Clayton Adamson, bringing them back out just a little bit.
Then they stuffed that run outside, and then the pick off as they tried to throw it to the receiver outside, and now North finds themselves with 1st and a long ways to go again.
Yeah, the field has been flipped back again.
Nick Crispin under center. They hand it off right up the middle to Tan Wynn.
Yeah, Tan Wynn, the leading rusher on the team this year for North. He's 600 yards on the season. He's averaging 5 yards per carry. Got 2 there and 2 very hard yards.
Yeah. So bring up 2nd and 8. For North. Send that slot and motioning him. Hand it off right up the middle. Wynn looking for room. He runs hard, gets a few.
Boy, he is the epitome of get your 2 yards, the 20 will come. He is a load.
Yeah, everything is moving forward and pushing, isn't it?
That's right.
So that puts him in a 3rd and 5 as we go into the final minute of the first period here.
Did you say we're still in the first quarter?
Yeah. Crispin under center. Drops back, looks. Quick out to Washington, but a good job to recover by the defender out there. Came in.
Mason DeBrava on the coverage there.
And that was one where Crispin just needed a little crisper pass. He fires that right away.
He did, but you have to give the wide receiver some credit there. He was able to wall off.
Yeah, he sat down, tried to wall him off.
DeBrava there,
But DeBrava made a good job of coming around with the arm and the hand and not getting a penalty. And he gets a quick punt off. Taken back at the 47.
Trajan Thornton here, turning the corner.
Yep, outside. 35, 20. Got to cut it back inside. Touchdown.
And if there's no laundry, all three phases have scored now. And, great for Trajan Thornton. He is one of the most well-liked kids at Valley, son of Coach Willie Thornton here. And he is involved in so many things. Goes into the elementary schools to talk to kids, read to kids. He is a pillar of the community when it comes to Valley High School, Valley Athletics, and the West Des Moines community.
So, extra point is up and good. We'll keep it right here as we're just about done with the first quarter. Makes it 37-0. And it was where he had the beanbag would be a 54-yard punt return.
Well done. That does kind of bring up maybe a little bit of shout-out time, Dar.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't shout out to a couple of people, and naturally, I have to start with my good friend, Doug Buchanan. Doug and Sue, listening every week to Valley Athletics. It doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, wrestling. They are all about Valley and the West Des Moines community. So thank you, Doug and Sue, for always being there. But don't worry, I got more shout-outs coming. Maybe one from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
Possibly.
And taken at the 3, 15, 20, and then hammered down before he could get to the 20. The 17, the return by Mackay Duncan. So we'll have 17.9 seconds, probably time for one play maybe here.
So right now, Creighton Mitchell, Jaden Williams, Jalen Crowell, been over and they've talked to Blake Underwood saying, hey, thanks, man. That just took some stats off of us. And now they're going to go talk to Trajan Thornton a little bit. Hey, thanks, man. That just took some offensive stats away. Nice job. We're happy for you, but come on. Put the ball back into the offense.
And there's a little swing out looking out there for Kevon Buckham.
Jake Granquist for Valley right out there. He almost had his paws on it, and he kind of maybe was thinking pick six himself.
And I spoke too soon about that being the last play of the first quarter.
A running play maybe would have been.
Oh, they've been starting every drive with a run here, but we'll see. Down 37, I guess they need to go to pass. But Nick Crispin, the freshman, under center. This time they hand it off up the middle, and he'll pick up a couple across the 20. And
Blake Underwood on that tackle there.
That will be the final play of the first quarter. All Valley here in the first quarter, 37-0. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Back here at Valley Stadium, we'll go to the second quarter, and North will have the ball 3rd and 8 at the 20. Here, Dar Danielson, Keith Bornas. Well, this is the first time I've got to do a game just up in the booth with you. I've been on the sideline a few times, but
I have to go back to last basketball season when we sat down together for a little bit.
Basketball or was it volleyball? Didn't you come in and do a volleyball?
We did a volleyball one, that's right.
I know, they all run together after a while, but and sacked in the backfield.
Speaking of running together there.
Yeah. It was the black shirts running together and pulling Crispin down for a loss.
I don't have a Nick Butoff on the tackle there by the Tigers. So when Nick Butoff was a freshman, he said, "Coach, I'm a defensive end. Nick, you're going to play tight end for us." "Coach, I'm a defensive end."
35-20, keeps his feet, 10-5, touchdown.
Nate Lasher. Now they're thinking the running backs are thinking it's a conspiracy now. 2 punt returns, interception, and a safety.
I think that was about the 43, was it? And the extra point is up and good. That makes it 44. Or 44, excuse me, yeah. 44 to nothing. We'll take a break, come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Back here for the kickoff. Valley up 44-0 here, 11-12 to play first half. On, what is it now, 3 punt returns for touchdowns.
2 punt returns, an interception.
And that ball just dies. And Makia Duncan was thinking maybe it was going to, bounce and go out of bounds. It took a little hop that way, but just hung on there like one of your lobs onto the green.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And held.
He did a great job getting back on it, but he's not feeling so good about it.
No, he took the...
Clayton Adamson came in and said hello.
That was, normally you think, okay, if we'll let her go out of bounds and then we'll get the ball with good field position, but it just hung on that turf.
Again, taking a very good Valley bounce. things just outside of the one offensive series, things not going very well for North.
Crispin under center. Hands it off. Muhammad Bass
Crispin hands off the ball to number 7, Muhammad Bass.
gets a couple.
Second by Valley, Blake Underwood. 1 yard gain brings up second and 9 for the Polar Bears.
14 of the 22 positions are
Both
two-way
ways
starters.
For North, yep.
It takes a toll. So we're going to see what kind of stamina the Polar Bears have tonight, as they have had all year.
Mm-hmm. And Bass in there again.
Crispin hands off the ball to Muhammad Bass.
I am very impressed with how North comes out every play and fights hard. There is good contact coming off the line of scrimmage. It's not working well, but there is a lot of fight coming in from North sides, and I'm very impressed with it. I'm really impressed with the freshman quarterback as he has taken everything Valley's given.
And Crispin dropping back, and he won't have time to get it. Now he loses it, and
They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
incomplete. Yep. Said his arm was moving forward. Well,
It was underhand, but
Yeah.
it was moving forward.
I've talked to a couple players who've been in this situation, and you know what they've said to me? You know what? We want to play these teams that are highly ranked and see where we stand, and we're coming out, and we know we may not win, but we're going to come out and we're going to play football, and we're going to go toe-to-toe,
Mhm.
and that's what we're seeing out of North here, and, you know, and that's, as you say, the numbers games don't work out quite that well for him, but here's a punt, and this time he's going to kick it to the side, not let it get returned. It'll
That
be
was a
down.
good punt.
That was. So that'll be down at the 45.
Punt was down by the Polar Bears at the Valley.
And
At the Polar Bears 45-yard line. Where Valley will
so
take over
finally we'll
first
see the
and 10.
Valley offense. It's been
Has it been 4 series?
let's see, we had the safety.
4
Crowell got the
score,
run, and then we had the punt return. No, interception, punt return, and punt return. So it's been 4 series.
Mhm.
Yeah, since they've been able to, the Valley offense has been able to come out and go to work.
4 scores and 7 series ago.
Right. Dropping back deep, thrown across the middle, and just behind the receiver a little bit there.
Hey, not a bad pass for having a cold arm. He had a little heat on there, but as you said, just a little bit behind Jack Johnson. He had a lot of real estate in front of him.
And brings up a second down. Straight back again, this time looking on the out. Has a man, cuts it up at the 30, and can't tightrope the sideline. Gets knocked out over there.
Nice job by Nate Lasher, reeling that pass in.
And he just about was able to keep the balance and get down the sideline there, but ends up going out. Yeah, no, be a first down, though.
I am impressed with how Valley is playing a complete game. What we talked about in the pregame, they're coming out and doing that right now.
Handoff, looking to the 20, 15, cuts it out, and then runs it out. Creighton Mitchell, after picking up the first down, goes out at the 11.
So we have played a full quarter and 3 minutes, and Creighton Mitchell has touched the ball for the second time tonight.
Second time, yeah.
That is weird to say.
Well, the first one he touched, he went 62 yards. So he's got 72 yards on 2 touches, which is, I mean, he was averaging pretty good coming in, but that's, and he'll get it again here, looking to get to the outside, touchdown.
Brayden Pecker hands off the ball to number 9, Creighton
10 yards out.
You know, he's got three touches, 2 touchdowns. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
8:59 to play here in the first half. Creighton Mitchell's second touchdown. And so about 84 yards, I think, on 3 carries and 3 touchdowns. And extra point is good. 51-0. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff after this.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert. They're the perfect thing to make that old wood fireplace more beautiful, warmer, and easier to use. And right now, Heat and Glow is giving a $200 rebate, making it even easier for you to upgrade that old fireplace. Please come see them today. Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Back at Valley, ready to kick off once again. Kick coming a little short to Haley at the 7. Gets outside, across up to the 26-yard line.
And that was a little bit of contact there.
Yeah.
Coverage man coming down well, return man moving upfield very well.
And I noticed that, yeah, I was just going to say, early on they've kind of hesitated looking, and this time he knew you don't have a lot of time to look. You just got to take it and go.
Absolutely.
And that's what he did, and he angled out and got, the pretty good starting position for them.
As far as yardage, best return of the night.
Yeah, because the receiver's been a little bit tentative looking for that hole, but they've realized with the speed of Valley, you can't take a lot of time doing that here as Crispin comes back out under center for North. Drops back, looks, throws out on the wings, got his man up across for a first down to Donovan Kyle.
Donovan Kyle has
kind of a little wheel route out the back.
21 carries for 125 yards this year. And he has more receiving yards than just what he's done there. I just didn't go far enough down the receiving list to get some stats on him for the receiving side of things. But a well-executed play. Just continued out of his motion right down the field.
And there he goes in motion again. This time they hand it off up the middle. And they're still trying to mix it up a little bit. Go up the middle, outside, trying to find a little catch this Valley defense with some of that motion.
And they're really doing a nice job with it. There's nothing broken in it. There's no pausing, no hesitation. You can tell that they have practiced this offense and are really doing a nice job fine-tuning it. With a freshman quarterback coming back next year, I mean, you're just that much further ahead if you can keep your guys together in the offseason to continue to work together forming a team.
Crispin straight back, looks, ducks, tries to duck under the pressure, but can't duck far enough as they bring him down.
So we talked a little bit about Nick Crispin doing a nice job there at the quarterback position, 125 pounds. He was taken down by 480 pounds of Valley defense there.
And here's 3rd and 12. Dropping back, rolling, throws it, and knocked. Is it picked off? No. Hits the ground, almost on the tip drill there. It was tipped by Keller, and then I didn't see who dove to try to pull it out of the turf, but that's one of those things you work on in practice, and he just about had it to perfection there.
Yeah.
But there's a flag down, looks like. And they're going to decline that. Valley will, since it'll be 4th down. And the punt returners are saying, yeah, decline it after.
That's right. But Valley not making any substitutions there, just dropping a safety back. So Thornton has a touchdown. Lasher has a touchdown. Somebody else goes back now.
And not a real great punt. Probably the worst punt of the night.
Going to be a net there of 9 yards?
9 yards, yep. No return, but you didn't flip the field very much on that
No,
one.
not so much. Good height.
Yeah. But he has been under pressure back there, too, all night. A couple were close to being blocked.
Yeah. One of the things that we really haven't taken into consideration is the rush that he has been facing all night. And when you look at a cumulative 1,000 pounds running down towards you, it's
I think Drew Peterson in there at quarterback now. Yes, he is. He hands off and spun around and dropped his Williams.
Yeah, Jaden Williams back in. It's his turn, keeping the rotation going. So we've seen Creighton Mitchell twice, and now Jaden Williams twice. Jalen Crowell once. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our, is this Valley's 5th offensive series of the night then?
I think so, yeah. Dropping back, throwing nice. Slips the tackle, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Lasher spun out of that one.
41-yard touchdown pass.
That was a good play.
It was, and it was a good route and a good yards after the catch there to pull out of the defender.
Braden Catcher looking to be pretty accurate tonight. -1 pass that was a little bit behind.
And that makes it 58-0. We'll take a break. Come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here at Valley High School, the Tigers get a 41-yard touchdown pass from Peterson to Lasher. And they're set to kick it off again. Kickoff, fumble, and he's going to pick it up, and he kept possession anyway.
He did at that, but at a cost. You know, the ball hits the ground the first time, and you look at it and you say, okay, I can pick this up clean. But when you drop your eyes to pick up the ball, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit nervous of who's coming, and you drop it the second time,
yeah,
you need to kind of just fall on it.
Because sometimes you drop it the first time, and the guys coming down to cover might slow up a
That's
little
right.
bit. You often see a big return on that, but as you said, he then kind of got a little worried and dropped it the second time, and by that time he was just lucky to keep possession.
Yeah.
And it'll be 1st and 10 to 14 for North. Send that man in motion, looking back, rolling, and now he'll roll out of there and gets rudely pushed out of bounds on the far side.
Dar, don't turn around. Josh Waymeyer, Valley Marchmasters, And just so you know, hey, do you know what these letters stand for? VFXL. Chew on that for just a little bit.
That's the shirt you wear, Valley Football Extra Large.
Now, yes.
Oh, no, you're an XXL.
That's what I tell everybody. It was actually Valley Fest 40.
Kickoff at the 17 and touchdown, Valley.
Skylar Young, the senior backup linebacker, and the fans don't understand exactly how big a play that is, but the players do, as Skylar Young, a great kid, working hard all years of football, and he's got his hands on an interception and a touchdown. I am speechless. I am that excited about
Explain
Skylar
why
Young.
that is such a big deal.
He's a third-string linebacker, and he has been a backup guy. Braden Ketcher has been a third-string player a lot of his career. Skylar Young has been in the same position all the way through, and now as a senior, on senior night,
Gets a score.
It's huge.
Makes the score 65-0, 5:38 to play. We'll take a break and come back with more after this.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Valley, 65-0, 5:38 to play in the first half. Dar Danielson, Keith Warnes on week number 9. And I feel a little chill here in the press box. It is one of the colder nights for football, but we've been pretty good so far this year. And that one's going to be taken at the 10, the 15, 20. Spinning around, and that's as far as you're going to get to the 20 is Devin Hilson.
Going to give him a favorable spot almost to the 22.
Oh, they're going to give him that. Well, he kind of got there and got pushed back, I guess, so they'll give him forward motion.
He didn't get that far on our angle.
No, it didn't seem like here, but just shy of the 22, they'll mark it. 1st and 10. For North. So North had the one drive in the first quarter. They got down to the 13, and then that was when it was picked off and returned.
And Skylar Young, man of the hour, back in at that middle linebacker position.
Handoff up the middle, running hard is Bass. And he gets close to a first down.
I think he got it.
Yep, he did. They're going to move the chains. The chain gang's probably happy. They get to move a little bit.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, are they?
Oh.
Now they're making them go back. They're saying the official on the far side, yeah, move them, and then
the white hat said no.
The white hat said no. Well, let's see if they sneak it here. And
timeout's just as good, right?
Yeah, well, the play clock was down to 1. But I think
then it is.
Yeah. But I think that confused them a little bit because they moved the chains, then moved them back. And
yeah, that timeout should be on the officials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a big difference between 1st and 10 and then, 2nd and 1, what you might run.
Well, absolutely, especially when the play clock is running while they're trying to decide if to move the chains or not.
Yeah.
That timeout in the grand scheme of things probably not going to decide the outcome.
It won't in the end here, the way things are going, unless we have a.
And now they move the chains.
Now. yards.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh. Okay.
First down. What a great use of the timeout then.
Upon further review, but they didn't ask us to look at our video, did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Polar Bears at the 32. Crispin swings it outside, and that's dropped out there by Kickoff.
Unfortunately, when you have the ball in your hands like that and it goes through and you drop it, the night just gets colder.
Yeah.
When you're having success, you can kind of take the chill out of the air, but...
And we're seeing North trying to get that quick hit, quick
Yes.
outside, quick up the middle, or quick slant, and here comes Crispin back in after checking to the sideline.
But I am going to say hello to Bob Bassett first.
Yep.
Bob listening in, watching the game in Milwaukee.
Wisconsin, eh?
Yeah, you got it.
Would he be related to the gal over here wearing the Wisconsin hat?
There's a solid chance that his daughter is kind of an important cog in the CISN broadcast this evening.
Yeah, if we're not nice, she'll cut our mics off. She does a pretty good job.
Above average.
Yeah.
So, Bob, thanks for tuning in tonight.
The Badgers, they have a big game coming up, don't they?
They kind of do have one. They do have one. And I think the Badgers would like to change things just a little bit from last weekend to this one.
And right up the middle, up to the 40 on 3rd down. They're going to be short of the first, but I'm thinking maybe they might go for it at this point in the ball game. 4th and 2, which they'll keep the offense in there.
I just got a text. My sister is watching the game up in Manchester tonight. So, hello, sister.
And up the middle, I think he's going to be a yard short.
Oh, he spun out.
Yeah. Still going to be a yard short.
Yeah, the ball came out late, and Valley was on it, but they're going to call him down for looks like a turnover on downs.
Over in Manchester, huh? Over Northeast Iowa.
Well, that's right. Manchester, West Delaware. They got a game tonight.
I started my broadcasting career over in Moines, Iowa.
I remember that, Dar. Not nearly as old as you. I remember you as I was just a very young man listening to you on, what was that, 95?
950 KOL.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Or 92.3
Yes.
FM.
Well, FM.
Yeah.
That's right.
They went, after I started, they put the big tower up, and the broadcast went quite a ways farther.
Yeah, well, growing up in Northeast Iowa, poor farm child, we only had AM radio, so it was good to have Dar come into the living room.
Drew Drunwald in at quarterback. But you had both kinds of music, right? Country and Western?
That's right. You have a very lovely voice when it comes to singing songs.
So 2nd and 3. And there is a whistle before the play got going.
Maybe a little early start.
Jaden Thomas in the backfield.
The defense with an early start. So that'll move to a 1st down. Nice easy pickup of 5 yards.
Well, your sister probably listens to me on Manchester and Radio Iowa, my newscast over there, I'm imagining.
I would certainly think so.
There's a handoff up the middle. What's her name?
Shanna.
Oh, yeah, I get her fan mail all the time.
That's right. Yeah,
I
I'm
do,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Yep, that's right. She is not pleased that you don't write back.
Well, I try, but there's only so many you can answer in a week, you know. Here's a handoff, looking for some room. 20, 15, 10. And diving forward is Crowell.
Jalen Crowell coming in, and he has his second series of the night. .807 in the evening time. 2 minutes left to go in the half. 65-0.
Dunwald, the quarterback. Hands it off.
And
touchdown for Crowell.
Now, I'll tell you who's been putting in the most miles tonight, though.
Who's that?
If there is any way we can get a camera into the grassy area south of the end zone there's a handful of kids that have been catching the extra points on both ends of the field tonight. And so we'll see if they got any hands down there.
And there it goes.
Who's got it? Nobody.
Nobody.
My gosh, you put a little pressure on them and they all fold.
72-0. Let's take another break. We'll come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Back for the kickoff here. 72-0. Valley leading. 2:02 to go in the first half. Can we get security up here? We got kids.
Oh my
in the
gosh.
press box.
Who just showed up here? Got Bubba and Dolly showed up here as my kids infiltrated the press box.
Taken at the 5, 20, 25, and brought down at the 25-yard line.
Yep. So, Dar, I was telling you earlier that Anna, my daughter, she is going to be in the play then over at Westridge coming up here. Not this next weekend, but just 2 weeks. November, I think it's 8, 9, and 10.
Which play is that? Shrek? Oh, my daughter was in Shrek in high school. What
play that is?
It's Shrek the musical.
And which character are you?
I'm a Duloc dancer.
Ah. And they pick up about 4 yards on the play. When is that?
It's November 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Ah, okay. So are you going to be a Shrek character for Halloween then?
No.
No.
I'm going to be an 80s girl.
80s girl? Ah, so you're going to be a Valley girl. Here's a handoff up the middle. She doesn't understand that, but I grew up in the 80s, so yeah. And up to the 41 as North trying to make something happen.
I'm glad to see Anna was able to get up here and put in a little plug for the Westridge play coming up.
Yeah, I'll send you the bill on that later.
That's right. In care of Anna Bornis.
And up the middle. That time they sniffed that out pretty good. As we go under a minute to play. And it'll be second down and 8. I'd say they might go deep, but he really hasn't had time to get deep and throw it. And
that would require actually standing still to be able to set up to throw.
Yeah. Even when he's had the scramble, he really hasn't had time here. He will drop straight back, though. Throw it out wide. It has a man on the far side, and he'll get out of bounds.
Nice job there by Bingham to be able to get that ball. Bickham to get that reception. And it occurred right after you had said, even in motion, he wasn't getting enough time, but he did.
He did that time. And North will take a timeout. Well, there's a few new faces along that defensive line. That's part of the reason they get a little more time, I would say, probably.
Henry Funk being one of them. Number 58 is in on the D-line. So, yeah, some people getting a little bit of playing time here.
And
halftime entertainment's coming in as Tom Trigstead, Valley boys and girls cross-country coach and head boys track coach, is going to be in here. Talking a little bit about district cross-country. And
does it just have the qualifying meets now?
Yeah,
right?
it was last night.
Last night, yeah.
And so the state meet coming up. Cross-country team showing a lot of progression through the year. And Coach Trigstead, fantastic coach.
And picked off at the 20. And
intercepted by Valley's number 23,
Urias Garhalo picked it off.
Well, he's on Coach Trigstead's shuttle hurdle team. So a lot of seniors getting some action tonight. A lot of seniors scoring touchdowns tonight.
Yeah. Looked like Crispin lost the handle on that as he tried to throw it because he didn't get a good grip in it.
Well,
kind of floated out.
Yeah. When it's 38 degrees outside, the football is not necessarily your best friend when it comes to good gripping.
It's pretty tough, isn't it? Oh, and there's a well, they're going to call offside, but no, he got in there, and I think that'll be it for the first half. So all Valley here in the first half, 72-0, the halftime score against North. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk with our halftime guest after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only, new 2019 Ford F-150 crew cabs up to $14,000 off MSRP or up to $8,500 off MSRP and 0% for 72 months. All new F-150 trucks come with no charge Ford roll-up tonneau cover. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We're here at halftime. Valley leading Des Moines North 72-0. Dar Danielson with you, and joining me is the Valley cross-country coach Tom Trigstad. And had your district meet, was it last night?
It was last night, yes.
And how'd you do?
Well, I coached both the boys and girls,
yeah.
And so it was a little bittersweet. We, on the boys' side, we missed qualifying as a team by 5 points, which is not much at all in cross country. We'd gone 15 years in a row, so it was a little tough. 6 of our 7 guys were seniors. Mm-hmm. 2 of those seniors did qualify individually, Jax Moines and Carter Owen. They've had tremendous years. They finished 5th and 6th, and so we're excited to see what they could do next week. And then on the girls' end, it was a strange year. We've battled a lot of injuries, and we've overcome that. We finished 3rd in the state last year. We started the season ranked 4th, and then with our injuries and stuff, we were pretty much out of the rankings the whole year. And at the district meet, there was 5 really quality teams, and we beat 2 ranked teams to get in and finish second at that meet. So girls were super thrilled to qualify for next week. We're excited. There's no seniors on that group, and we had 3 girls that would have qualified individually, led by Lauren Schultz, who was an all-state cross-country runner last year, finished 15th in the state last year. So we're excited to see what she can do next week. And
that's at Fort Dodge?
That's in Fort Dodge. Yeah. And Maddie Hollander, she finished 10th, and Cameron Ensley finished 15th. So we're excited. We're excited to see what those girls can do now that we're coming into our own, and we're finally getting fresh and healthy. And so experiencing some taste of success finally in qualifying, yet last night. So we're really excited to see what they can do this week.
So when you have a team in, obviously you coach a little different than when you have individuals, right? When you have individuals, is it just go out and run the hard, or is that a little different too than how you coach them?
It is definitely different, and I'm not sure how to speak that. I think cross country is as a team sport. I've been fortunate enough to have some great individual athletes as well. We've had over the years, this is my 17th year coaching cross country here at Valley, and we've had 2 individual state champions on the boys' side over the years. Both went on and ran at University of Iowa.
But you score what, the top?
You scored the top 5, so 7 run, and that 6th and 7th is still very important, in that 6th and 7th can push ahead of somebody else's 5 and push them back in the scoring. So just out west, there was 2 teams on the girls' side out there that they had a tie, and it came down to the 6th runner and who was ahead of each other. So, that's the beauty of that sport is, it's not just what the first runner does. It's that 5th, 6th, and 7th runner can really have an impact on your team as well.
Has it been a little tough with all the rain and stuff and running this year?
Yeah,
I know that
it's been a very strange year in the fact that we lost a few meets. Our JV only got about half of the season in terms of meets in, and so the same year we've dealt with some of the rain issues in the spring, and I coached the boys track program, and you always feel bad when these younger kids in the JV. They're the first ones we'll cut that and we'll just do the varsity, or we'll find another night for the varsity. So you feel bad for those kids, and seems like we're always dealing with Saturday morning. We practice on Saturdays, and I'd be up at 5:30 going, are we going to get practice in outside, or we're going to have to go run on the treadmill in the weight room? So it's been sort of a strange fall with that.
Yeah, I know. I ref some soccer games for kids, and it's just the fields get wet, and it's just you got to wait. And it's the same thing. I know any kind of outdoor
at
sport.
The district meet last night, South Spoke's got a beautiful true cross-country course and some land behind their new school, and they have some low areas, and it with just even 2 races compared to in a regular meet where you'd have fresh off and a JV and all these divisions. After the girls ran and the gator went through and all that, it was very, very muddy for the boys. So, but that's cross country.
So what's the strategy then for the girls heading into the state meet then?
Again, it's been a struggle early in the year for us to get where we're back to where we believe we are. But we believe we're one of the better teams, and that we have some girls that consider themselves, they were top 15, they would have qualified individually. So the key for every team, every coach in the state is you want to get out in the race to be in the race. You don't want to blow it and go out too fast, but you want to be in contact with those top teams and top runners. And so What's interesting about Fort Dodge, it's a relatively flat course, but out around the 2 miles, a little bit of hills, and I feel like always some teams in the eastern half of this state feel like those are real hills, but we run pretty tough courses throughout the year. So when we get to that section of the course, that's sort of our time, we say at Valley. Wherever you leave Valley High School, we're always running hills and practice, and so we feel like that's the tough time of the meet where we're going to make some gains and really compete and take it to some people. So there's no strategy that's any different from anyone else or anything to hide from, but that's a situation where we hope to really make some moves, and then you come back and to the crowd and towards that finish in the last half mile, and it's all a pure guts race and whatever you have left to try to get it out.
Yeah.
So
now, and I know. Well, last night was relatively calm, wasn't it, with the wind?
It was actually a gorgeous night.
We've had some nights, too, where the wind has just been, and I imagine running into that saps you a little more, too, when you're out there on the course.
Yeah, but that's dealing with that's the dealing with spring and fall sports that I do is you're dealing with the elements.
So, and then let's go back to those individuals, the boys. Then, you work on trying to get your personal best there or trying to be to the top? And
both those kids, Carter Owen has been a 4-year varsity runner for us, and this is his 4th year at the state meet. He's been a part of some really good teams. He's got high goals, and he's a kid who's going to run in college. Jax Moines is a kid who has had an incredible season. So, when you look at where they finished, they're top 30 guys. They actually have bigger goals than that. So it's a matter of trying to find that, can I make contact? There's going to be a few kids, there's about, 5-7 kids are going to go out way ahead, and it's that next group. Can you be with that next group? And then when it's time to make moves, have you conserved enough energy, but being up in that group to really then go for it in the second half of the race?
That's a lot of knowing your skill, what your times are, and then a lot of the medal part of it too, isn't it?
Well,
if you get behind, you probably see more medal than what you think.
In a 5K race, unfortunately, there's an opportunity for your mind to do a lot of talking, and so much of distance running is using positive self-talk to get yourself through and believe that all the workouts you've done, all the practices, the prior success at other meets, that you're using that when your mind wants to tell you negative things in that race.
But, my mind always told me about 50 yards in, what are you doing?
Yes.
I never ran cross country, but track, it was always, hey. But so it sounds like a good year and then a good wrap up in Fort Dodge, and looking forward to maybe bringing home some medals or
we're always excited. The reality is here with Valley Athletics and our success that we have here at Valley that, we have high expectations. Everyone does. And the kids do, and they know that, and they work hard. And we never ask them to try to do anything they can't do. Just go out, do the best you can do, and see what happens.
But I know it's like any sport too. In this league, you face a lot of good competition.
Oh yeah. I have so much respect for so many of the teams that we compete against. There's great coaches, great athletes, and so that's the beauty of sports in general, but also with running and track and cross country is. There's great camaraderie. We're all working so hard, and the margin of error is so small that, some days it's yours, some days it's somebody else, and you tap your hat and say, hey, great job. So.
We were just talking in the office, we were talking about people qualifying and how it's a neat thing when you see that whole pack take off at the start of the race, And I've seen a couple of college meets up at Iowa State too, and they had the national title back there a few years ago, and you see that whole pack going off, and at that point you feel everybody has got to feel, hey, I'm in this, got a chance, and then it comes down to the end. But it's just a cool thing if people get a chance to get out and watch it. And it's Saturday, what time?
The girls run at 11, and the boys run at 11:30.
All right. Coach, the cross-country coach, Tom Trigstad here from Valley. Thanks for joining us
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
At halftime, we'll take a break and come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
We're here at halftime at Valley High School. The Tigers are up 72-0 over Des Moines North at the half. Dar Danielson with you. Let's run down the first half scoring. Valley on their first possession forced a punt, and then Creighton Mitchell, one play, took it 62 yards. The extra point was good, and at 11:40 to go first quarter, 7-0. Then it was Trayvon Williams with the 38-yard run. The PAT was good. And that made it 14 to, or excuse me, that was Jaden Williams, and that made it 14-0. Then there was a safety on a bobbled punt snap, and Valley went up 16-0. Then it's Crowell with a 14-yard run with 5:28 to go, made it, the PAT was good, made it 23-0. Blake Underwood returned an interception, 79 yards with 2:12 to go. The PAT was good. That made it 30-0. And Trey John Thornton, a 54-yard punt return with 23 seconds to go, made it 37-0, and that was scoring in the first quarter. Then into the second quarter, another punt return, 43 yards, this time by Nate Lasher with 11:12 to play. 43 yards, that made it to 44-0. Then Creighton Mitchell had a 10-yard run. PAT was good, 51-0. Then Lasher, a 41-yard pass, and that made it 58-0. Then Skylar Young picked off the ball and went, I believe it was a 17-yard interception, made it 65-0 with the PAT. Then a 3-yard TD by Crowell, and it was with 2:02 to go, and that made it 72-0. Keith Bornes is here. North had a couple drives. That one in the first quarter, Keith, they got down to the 13, then took a loss to the 20, and then there was the interception by Underwood, who ran it back 71 yards, and they were threatening a little bit there. And at that point, they trailed 23-0, but a chance to score. And then they had another drive where they got out to about the 40, but the Valley defense and offense are both playing at a good clip here tonight.
They are playing at a good, strong level. But if they want to preserve a shutout, and every team wants to, if they have one going into halftime and they come back out and they play, have been playing well, every team wants to. But in order to do that, they're going to have to stay real focused on this, as you talked about in pregame, because North has weapons. They can score from anywhere. And so with that, it is a situation where if there is any letdown, a 5-yard gain, or even when we saw what looked to be a 2-yard loss that they were able to turn into a 3-yard gain, at any given time, if you're not ready for it, they're fast enough, they're strong enough, they're going to hit it for big yards.
And that's one of the things, too, when you bring in those guys who haven't played a lot and you say, hey, here's your chance to play, and show us what you can do. And maybe not the rest of this season, but be ready for next year, learn a little something here. If you're an underclassman, get out there and play against another team, because playing in practice against the same team all the time, sometimes, it doesn't do you much good. But here you get out and play a little bit against another team and show us that you know where you're supposed to go. You can do what you're supposed to do.
Right. Valley's been pretty fortunate all year, because you would have to say that Valley's offense is pretty good. So our defense has been practicing against a really good offense all year. And you'd have to say our defense is really good, so that our offense has been playing against it. But as you said, it's not always easy to get things done, because you see each other every day. You can anticipate what's going on. There are too many variables that go on in a game, an actual game setting, and you have to start to account for all of those variables and actually read the keys, rather than just feel like, oh, here comes ISO play again.
Mm-hmm. Well, winding down, and they're introducing the senior band members too. And
the band has had such a great year so far. The Valley Fest, I was talking to Josh Waymeyer about it a week ago, the Monday after Valley Fest, and he said it was a great performance. So a lot of fantastic bands came in and performed. Valley had an excellent show and exhibition to end the evening, but even talking with some other schools that said, oh yeah, we came to Valley High School to the stadium for the Valley Fest. People get up for Valley Fest, and to see the seniors honored who have put in all the time that they...
Yeah, and I know my daughter in band, and they get up early in the morning.
Oh, boy.
Out there marching, too. They have their set plays, as it were, where they have to know where they're at on the field and marching, and it was always funny. I'd ask my daughter, well, how'd it go? It looked pretty good to me. And she goes, well, we missed their steps on this one. And she'd be telling me this stuff that I didn't know. But, yeah, so they put in a lot of hard work. And
a ton of work in. Because you take a look at them, if you drove by here at 6 a.m., the lights are on, the band is out here practicing. If you drive by here at 10 o'clock at night, the lights are on, the band is practicing. And you're trying to figure out if they actually went to school in between there. But, they do. They practice here from 6 to 7 in the morning, and then they head off to class, and then they come back after all of the practices are done, the games are done at night, and they get another practice in here on the field. Because you can't duplicate it. You can't duplicate this in a parking lot.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter the weather. Rain, shine, they're out here.
Got a halftime score, Waukee over Johnston, 14-10 at the half there, and that sounds like it's been a back and forth game. Just looking on Twitter. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, they took the opening kickoff for a 99-yard touchdown. I think that was the start the second half, Waukee, so they may be up there.
Up a little more than that?
A little more than that. So a good ball game going on there as they battle for the district lead there. Valley has it well in hand here, and
I think I saw Ankeny was up over Sioux City East
28-7.
I'm interested to see what's going on with Polk and Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's Peter will try to find that score. That could be a pretty good matchup. I've been impressed with Polk. With everybody talked about them losing their top running back, but they've just come out and gone at it. And then they have a young quarterback, sophomore there, Daly, who's played really well this season, and a good young running back.
The nice thing about being one of the freshman coaches is you get to see all these groups come in as a whole when they're in the freshman class. And Polk's sophomore class is a phenomenal class. Just like Ankeny's junior class is a really good class. And so it'll be interesting to see how Ankeny continues to progress with that class, and if Polk's sophomore class is going to be strong enough to kind of overtake that, or where it's at. But I would imagine those two schools are going to be ranked in the top 10 here for the next couple of years, and maybe do some damage as it comes into the postseason.
Give the Tigers here a little run, which is good. You want competition, don't you?
Absolutely. And yeah, the senior class here for Valley, 38 or so strong, putting all that time in, and now it's time to see if all of their efforts, nobody's going to question their efforts. Nobody's going to question their work ethic that they have done in the offseason to get to where they are. Now it's just a question of do they have what it takes to keep that balance now going and finish it.
I think you might have mentioned earlier, but I look at Creighton Mitchell. There's some names in here that I've heard because they've played for a while, but other ones like catcher stepped in as a senior, and just had what you hope for as a senior, and what you hope for as a coach. Those seniors step into those spots and those voids, and they've waited their time, and they step up and they do it when they have to.
Absolutely, and we had our freshman banquet tonight, and Coach Swenson came over and addressed the team, and he actually talked a little bit about that and said, Braden Ketcher, backup quarterback his whole life. And last year when the season was over, he looked right at him and said, Coach, I'm going to be the starting quarterback next year. And Coach Swenson said, okay, but it's not going to be a piece of cake to do this. Here are the things that you have to do to get it done. And he has exceeded that because he wasn't given the job. He had to earn it. Drew Peterson, a very good quarterback. Stalzer, a very good quarterback.
Yeah, because going into camp,
great quarterback.
Going into camp, it was kind of
up in the air, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, getting ready here for the kickoff to the second half. I haven't done a whole lot of looking ahead in the playoffs, but any idea on what the matchups could be at this point, or do we just have to wait to see how all the RPI stacks out?
Yeah, I gotta wait and figure it out. I am no Casey Young when it comes to
figuring all that out.
Yeah, figuring out stats. Casey Young, one of our sophomore coaches, son of Travis Young, head wrestling coach at Valley. He's kind of a numbers guy in his own right.
Set for the kickoff. Start the second half. This one is going to be taken at the 4. Looking for room, trying to get outside, sidesteps a couple tacklers, and then is pulled down. Savion Haley. Or excuse me, that's Davion Hilson. Or Devin Hilson.
Did a nice little spin with the ball there as he, instead of handing it back to the official, he just spun it there, and the official kind of let it go and said, yeah, I think we'll spot it right there.
So 1st and 10, we'll call it to 19. For North. Crispin, the quarterback. Hands it off. And
ball came out, but called down.
Bass was down before that. Bass is just a junior. There you got Crispin, a freshman. So they do have some guys that will be coming back.
Hilson, a junior.
A couple juniors starting on the offensive line.
Stanley Ross, a junior.
Bickham is a junior.
Bickham's a junior.
Washington's a senior. They'll lose him, but
Tan Nguyen is a junior. So, yeah, they have some pieces to put together here for the years to come.
And handoff again right into that line. Bass picks up 1. Bring up 3rd and 8.
Well, I believe the first half took an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know if the second half is going to go that long.
Well, there was a lot of scoring that stopped the clock.
It did.
Plus, and they don't go to continuous until the second half. Crispin rolling, throws, and just
out of reach.
Can't get it there. It would have been enough for a first down, but that will turn it over.
Donovan Kyle.
Sent it to fourth down, I guess.
The intended receiver there. A lot of times people ask, why do you punt in a situation like this? It's 72-0. Just take the play. Well, you don't want to just give things away either.
No, and a lot can happen too, and you can flip the field.
No.
And there he
And
gets
they
a
just
good
did.
punt and a roll. That's probably the best roll he's gotten tonight.
Dar, I think I've said this in every broadcast, so I have to say it again. 3 rules to the kicking game. Don't be offsides. Don't rough the holder or the kicker, and never let the ball hit the ground. As on average, 15 extra yards, and I think there was about 12 on that one.
And I thought he was marking off the penalty there for a minute. The way the white hat was walking back, he was just walking back. But for a minute, it looked like he was marking off a penalty. And
I think he was just trying to get some extra steps in or
maybe
stay warm.
Yeah, loosen up the legs a little bit, stay warm. It's like Peterson back in at quarterback for Valley.
Crowell out there.
Picks up a couple.
The 40-second clock this year, Dar, has allowed a lot of time to run off the clock in between plays, especially with the no-huddle offenses that a lot of Central Iowa teams run.
Mm-hmm.
They stand around, look for the signal as a big play happens.
Hands it off. Crowell busted up across the 50 down to the 40.
So Valley really wasn't in a hurry to get the play in, as they still have 30 seconds to go before they have to start this next one.
And they'll take their time. Crowell back in there.
5 seconds to go on the play clock here.
Jaden Thomas is in. Peterson, the quarterback, hits a man on the out and breaks the tackle down the sideline. 10-5.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. That is Zane Johnson.
Zane Johnson with the reception, and was that almost a 40-yard touchdown?
Yep. I'm running out of room to write down the scoring here.
They do make more paper, Dar. But if you write small enough like that, get a magnifying glass. Or just put the third set of glasses on.
79-0. We'll take a break and come back with more after this.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
And we're back, and sounds like Southeast Polk over Roosevelt 35-0.
Kind of have things in hand there.
Yeah. the kickoff here. Valley leading 79-0. At the 5. And looking for room outside. And will be pulled down is Devin Hilson. That little short kick dropping at the 4 and 5 has worked well. They've had good coverage on that and been able to get down there and trap them, usually inside the 20 for the most part.
And that has been a conversation that we've had up here in several of the games this year, is just what is a better kick? Everybody wants to have that kickoff guy that can put it in the end zone because it's a guarantee you're going to start at the 20.
It's 20, yeah.
But anytime you can get a high kick to the 5 and cover it well, sometimes you can do a little better than that.
And in motion, and they'll hand it right off up the middle to Bass. And he gets a good first down carry across the 30 to the 31. Pick up of 4.
And North has done a great job with their misdirection tonight.
Yeah, they have. They've been still working it pretty well. Kind of gone away from the passing. We're throwing a few slants there, but man, that one right into the middle for a couple, 3 maybe, which will bring up 3rd and 3.
Let me see here. If you can get 3.5 yards every time, that does put you over a first down in 3 plays.
Our coach always told us every play is designed, if everything's blocked right, to go for a touchdown. So if you don't get a touchdown every time, somebody's not doing their job, right? Either that or the defense is playing pretty well. Down the line, pitches it. That looks like a forward pass, but either way, it's going to work. Well, now he's going to be close to the first down.
Well, we're going to call it good.
Well, we'll see if they move him ahead and move him back.
All right, timeout.
Wait a minute.
Takes a timeout to get the first down.
I wonder with all the technology how soon it'll be, maybe never, where we get rid of the chains and they just do like a laser measurement.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to ask the people watching if the yellow line is showing up on where the first down is on the screen or not.
Urbandale over Ames 42-7. Prairie down to, or Cedar Falls over Prairie 28-21 at the half.
A lot of people looking into that game to see.
Yeah, Cedar Falls over there in the east might be. Roosevelt, or Southeast Boca Roosevelt, told you about that. Dowling over Sioux City North 57-0. Indianola over Des Moines East 45-6. Well, Cedar Falls gave Dowling quite a game there. Was that the semis?
Yeah, semifinal.
And took them right down into overtime, I think, wasn't it?
Or was that the final?
It might have been a final. One of those years, I don't know. And second down run is up. Yeah, that's another team over there, Cedar Falls, on the eastern side of the state that they are undefeated coming into tonight, and looks like Mohammed Bass is down for North. He's done a good job lugging that ball up the middle tonight.
Yes, he has, and he's up on his own power, which is good, but he'll have to come out for a play.
And I think they took a timeout there.
Well,
or did they?
No, I think the coach just came out to say, hey, we're going to go this way.
Come out. And he's just a junior. But you like his toughness. He didn't want to come out of that game, did he? It's like, no. So 3rd and 5 here at the 42 for North. And still scooching ahead there is Stanley Ross. He got him close to the first down, 4th and 1. And here's a case where you're out far enough where you go for it.
Absolutely. Especially when you've been gaining
a couple yards each.
Time,
they haven't been losing yardage, been gaining a few each time. There's that. Oh! He was down. Crispin was down.
That was unfortunate for North.
He kind of got, I don't know if he got tripped up pulling away from the center or a little penetration there, and his knee went down.
Yeah, the ball certainly didn't stop, but
as he was trying to pitch it back there to Donovan Kyle. And so now to go over on downs to Valley. And they'll come out with about 1:20 to play here in the third quarter. And Dunwald under center now.
It sure is.
He drops back, fires it outside. Hits his man there. Who is 81?
Is that Zane Johnson?
Zane Johnson.
Oh, no, 86 is Johnson.
Yeah, that's Johnson. I don't have an 81 on the roster.
Oh, we'll call that, call him Bob.
Bob.
Or it's, I got a sneaking suspicion that is Reed Schilb.
Reed Schilb. And off up the middle goes Jaden Thomas. And that's likely going to be the last play here of the third quarter. As it's winding down. And the Tigers will come over to the sideline as the clock will run down. 79-0 here as we'll head to the fourth quarter of game number 9 after this on CISN.TV.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Back here for the fourth quarter, 79-0. Valley leading North. We were just discussing as Valley what you do. You try to get in as many players in as you can, and you're not going to see any of the first, probably second teamers in there because you don't want to risk any kind of injury at this point. Plus, they've been sitting out for a little bit too, and they're probably cooled down.
Right. You don't want to get them all re-warmed up. And when you take a look at Jalen Crowell out there, the third-string running back, it's not like you dropped off a bunch.
No, and then too, they're playing hard because they're getting playing time.
That's right.
And so we had, I think it was junior high one time, we were 8th grade, we were up probably 3 touchdowns, and the coach said, okay, let's just run it. And our quarterback, he said, no, let's go bomb. Everybody go. And then they took him out of the game.
Yeah.
He'd like to keep throwing. Because there wasn't many games we got up 3 touchdowns. But
boy, you know, that's a situation where it's a no-win deal for a coach, because many years ago we had a situation where we were playing a team and we were within a minute and we were up a couple of touchdowns and nothing. you didn't need to score. You weren't going to lose it. We had knelt down on our first play. We'd just gotten the ball back on the last series, and so we knelt down, and a kid came up and said, hey, Coach, I haven't been in yet. And so the running back coach looked at him and said, oh, my gosh, we got to get you in. So he runs in. But second down had gone, and we had knelt down again. So we put in this young man as a running back, and he said, hey, let's just run 22 ISO up there. And I looked at him and said, you're going to run a play after kneeling down twice? And he goes, oh, that's not good. And so we handed it off, and the kid went 40 yards for a touchdown. And you just don't recover from that when you walk across the field to the opposing team to do 2 kneel downs and then run a 40-yard touchdown
pass out and sneak by and get in for the touchdown. Zane Johnson.
That's his second of the night.
Second one. He's got a third quarter and a fourth quarter touchdown. This one a 19-yarder.
So Valley on its third quarterback throwing a touchdown tonight.
And that makes it 86-0. We'll take a break, come back with more after this.
Schottenkirk's Ford Truck Month going on now in Indianola. This month only new 2019 Ford F-150 crew cabs up to $14,000 off MSRP or up to $8,500 off MSRP and 0% for 72 months. All new F-150 trucks come with no charge Ford roll-up tonneau cover. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
And ready for the kickoff once again. And that one is going to go out of bounds.
And not by just a little bit.
Yeah, by quite a bit there.
That kind of looked a little bit like my golf game, Dar.
Yeah, I've seen that out of my shot off the tee, too, where it heads off to the left quite a bit.
Yes, I have done some pretty magical things on the golf course, and hitting the ball straight is not one of them.
Well, I always laugh when they give these pros, I get a great shot out of the deep rough. I said, big deal, I'm hitting out of the deep rough all the time. What's hard about that?
Happy Gilmore.
Every tee shot I hit.
That's right. Happy Gilmore.
I got pretty good at it.
Phil Mickelson can play him off the outhouse. Well, my gosh, I've been behind there too.
Hand off up the middle. Yeah, college up at UNI, we used to play. They had a UNI course. Now it's the highway overpass that comes in there. But it used to be a nice little 9-hole course that when you were a student, it was like $250 to play. So that was the summer I learned. Don't ever take summer classes when you get golf. You can go play because the temptation was too much.
$2.50 for the afternoon. Yeah. That's not bad.
Down the line, pitch back, and the defender is right there. Tyler Spears played that well.
Very well. Speaking of golf, a few weekends ago, Valley boys golf team placed second at the state golf meet. Coach Ben Stein and the golfers did a great job. Lost by, I think it was 1 stroke to Waukee.
Okay, yep.
So many congrats to them.
And again, talk with cross-country coach about the conditions this year, outdoors and the rain and all that, trying to get in just time to practice. Any outdoor sports has been a little bit tough.
It has been a very strange year. We can't get rid of the rain, and other places can't get the rain.
My lawn looks great, though, for this time of year,
yes.
nice and green and lush. And anyway, but yeah, well, there's some flurries maybe next week. Peter had to bring that up.
Yeah.
So what is the now you get the film, the video of the other teams, and you kind of go over that, and if it's not somebody you know, if it's somebody you do know, you have a little bit of, but then you kind of break that down and you go through that and you start your practice then for the playoffs. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, there's most teams are on this huddle deal for film, and so anybody that's in our conference, they submit their film, and so you can watch anybody's film at any time after it's been submitted. And then when you figure out who you're going to be playing, then they'll make sure that there's, I think it's the last 3 games that you've played that get uploaded in there, or you share with, and then you start breaking down and all those different things. So getting film certainly isn't like the good old days when
you had to get a VHS tape and drive it halfway. Usually is what they did.
And that's what we did, because when I first started down here, the first round game would be next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so on that Wednesday night, I was usually driving over to Sioux City or Council Bluffs to watch a team over there play. And we brought the tapes with us, the last 3 films. And there is nothing worse than getting back in the car on Saturday morning and realizing that you still have the tapes in your car. And Coach Swenson said, well, enjoy your trip back over to Council Bluffs.
Yeah, I remember those. Well, I did up in Ames, and Coach Datto up there, and the assistant would have to go, wherever. If they played somebody in Sioux City, then usually they'd try to meet halfway and exchange and stuff. But a lot different now with all the technology and that.
Yes, technology has certainly done some wonderful things, but it has also taken the experiences of young coaches and letting them tour the state on scouting for Friday nights. We certainly saw our share of highway.
Yeah. And handoff, looking for room.
And got some.
Got some, and gets the first down before he's pulled down.
Javasi Williams.
Javasi Williams in there.
Nice run.
And 1st and 10 for Valley.
Still over 15 seconds left on the play clock, so plenty of time to get the play signaled in here. I don't know if the game clock or the play clock is running faster right now. Supposedly they're about the same speed.
There's handoff over the right side. Williams gets about 5 on that carry.
Casey Stalzer came in, played a little wide receiver. Got a good block downfield. So the anticipation of who to play is going to be coming, and you can rest assured the Valley coaching staff is going to spend a little time here tonight after the game getting things squared away as to who they think they should be watching.
And Thomas, good run, breaks through there, almost broke it all the way.
And as they continue to get ready and they see the scores, and once everybody knows how the RPI works, you just get one of your good math guys, figure it out. Nobody's going to ask me to figure it out, but there's people that can get that figured out, and you have a real good idea before you even leave the stadium tonight who you're going to be playing. And So then the assignments come out. How do you want to break it down? Who's going to be watching this film? Who's going to be watching that film? And then the coaches will cut those tapes up and get them sent out to the kids so that they can
Williams
watch.
got a blocker, and he gets tackled there at the 12, down to 11. Or Thomas, excuse me, with the ball.
A great job there by Thomas. As he was going down, he was still leaning forward. And it's great when you have a nice long run and then you finish it off with a 2-yard fall forward.
Yep. Now will they keep handing it off is the question here.
Well,
you got about
at this
3
point,
minutes.
At this point in the game, yes, you're going to continue to hand the ball off. You got guys that haven't been playing, and so give them their shots.
Did he make it? No, he's just going to be short. It'll be
but a first down.
First down. he got just what he needed for the first down there. As the stick was at the 1, and he's just inside the 1, about the half-foot line there. Under 3 minutes to play. Clock continues rolling.
Plenty of time on the play clock yet, so
it's down to 10.
Oh.
You can kind of see it there on the left side of the screen just by the upright. 4 handoff, and he'll get a little help pushing him in.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to give that touchdown to. If you give the touchdown to Jaden Thomas, or if you just give the assist to Javasi Williams. I say we give each of them 3 points.
Now they changed that too, where you can help push now, because used to be you couldn't do that. But do you like that, or?
I do. Yeah. Well, most of the time I do. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily like it when it's going the other way.
When you're the pushy, not the pusher,
right?
Or whatever. So the extra point is no good. So that makes it 92. We'll take a break. Come back after this.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Scored 3 touchdowns within like 20 seconds. And we're back. First real offensive flaw there is a missed PAT. Kickoff taken. Get reverse field. Slips a tackle. Still going, and pulled down is Kevon Bickham. And again, North playing all the way to the end here.
Yes.
Regardless of the score.
Well, at this point, you still have a goal here. Can we march it down the field? Can we get it down the field?
Can we score? Yeah, it's still,
Because they're not concerned what Valley's number is. They're concerned about what theirs
is, and they're, they could take their time and say, oh, let's just let it run out and go. No, but they're coming out here, let's try to score.
That's right.
It's always, let's keep at it. Well, keep an eye on the Twitter for CISN and the website as far as our playoff coverage and what we might be doing with that. And we'll let you know.
Yeah, we could be right back here next Friday night.
Pass is incomplete. Okay, he had Washington on the deep route maybe open.
Yeah.
But again, like we say, the ball's cold and it's probably a couple more plays here.
Yeah.
We'll about do it.
My What's that phrase my dad used to always say? It's hard to remember your objective is to drain the swamp when you're up to your waist in alligators.
So Crispin comes in. Drops back, looks, under pressure, fumbles. And no, they're going to say he was down.
I'm not 100%.
Or they say it was a pass.
I'm not 100% sure he was down, but they certainly weren't going to allow that score to happen.
No, they weren't going to let that go. And that will more than likely, I think it's going to be the last play because they're going to now let it run down by the time he gets over there, gets the play in.
Yeah, that's one of those by the officials to kind of just make sure, all right, we're done. We're going to slow the ball getting in there and kind of take over this and call it a night.
Well, for the Tigers, can't get any better than 9-0 here, but we know there's a lot of hard work ahead if their end goal is to get a championship and go 13-0 on the season.
That's right. And at this point, anybody that's in, that should be their goal.
Yeah, yep. And in my mind, you still, Dowling's defending, and you got to knock them off. And
that's right.
And it's up to somebody to do that, and we'll see what happens as we get into the playoffs. Let's take a final break here. We'll come back and wrap it up here. 92-0 Valley, the win over North on CISN.TV.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Okay, ladies, it's October and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
We are here, the final 92-0 Valley over North. Dar Danielson, Keith Bornes on CISN.TV. Regular season is over. Valley 9-0 overall, 5-0 in District 7. Exactly where you want to be. They come in ranked number 1. The RPI was up there at number 1 too. So, you know, they're obviously they get the automatic bid here and right up there as far as the seeding will go too. So everything right now, right where Valley wanted to be when they started the season.
Absolutely, because first round, all district champions are guaranteed a home game. And then after that, it goes to the highest seed. And so Valley has both the first round locked up as a host, and if they win that, they should host the second round with the higher ranking. So
yeah, as I had a coach last week say, you want to get where you have home, dome.
That's right.
And that's the way it goes. And right now, it's set up nice for Valley to do that. here tonight, we talked about it. You just want to come out. You want to go through. You want to play crisp, and pretty crisp overall. Not a lot of penalties for the Tigers when the game was still, in doubt early, and really pretty well played game for the time that you had the first team in there.
I was very impressed with all phases of the game. What was talked about in the pregame is what we saw in the game itself, and every week that we had a game here at Valley and our broadcast, we've always kind of talked about if there's been a game-changing moment or a feel-changing moment. There wasn't really a game-changing moment for tonight because Valley was pretty much in control all the way through. But as far as a real momentum shift, if there was going to be a player of the game tonight, I'm going to give it to Skylar Young.
Yeah, that interception.
That interception return for the touchdown.
That's when North got it to the 13. They took a loss back to the 20. Then they tried to throw that out pass, and he picked it off, took it all the way back, and that ended any kind of thought that maybe North could get a run together to make it a game.
And it brought the entire Valley sideline up, excited, clapping, jumping, screaming. I don't know how many people you can get on the field at one time, but Valley had all of them on there after that play. So that was great to see. Great moment for Skylar. And so all three phases of the game, Valley dominated all three of them. And it was good to see good finish of plays, a lot of crisp effort tonight. And the other thing that I was most impressed with, downfield blocking. Valley's offensive linemen moving downfield and continuing to block.
Especially those receivers and getting downfield, that extra just couple seconds for those backs. They have the speed, but you give them an extra second to read that block and get by it, and that just gives that much more yardage.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, most of the time tonight, it ended up being a score.
Sure did.
And we want to thank our crew here tonight. Anna in her Wisconsin cap over there. Great job, Nick, on the field camera, and Peter helping run everything. It's been another good season of football here on CISN, and stay tuned. We'll let you know what our plans are for the playoffs, and then we have coming up next month too. We'll be doing the high school volleyball championships in Cedar Rapids, and so always keeping busy. We appreciate your help with us here throughout the season and all the crews that have helped out. So it's been another fun season. Went fast though again.
It did go fast. Yeah. They say the older you get, the faster it goes.
Well, and you work with good people, things time flies, right? Sometimes,
that's right.
Yeah. All right. The final here tonight, Valley 92, Des Moines North nothing. That's going to wrap it up for Valley Stadium here on CISN.TV.